Ozzy, it must mean another episode of Cloud Talk Live. Everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Cloud Talk Live, an exciting one right here from the center of where it all happens at Rackspace, the castle. Look at that cool place back there. Wouldn't you love to work here? I'm going to show you a job later that you might be pretty excited about coming in and being a part of. But you know, the way we do this the same way every time, folks. This is a conversation. It's a conversation with a guest, with me, and of course with you as well. But we can't do that unless you are introducing yourself. So there in the chat, whichever format you're on, go ahead and tell me who you are. Tell me where in the world you are, and then that makes it so much more fun to know who we're talking to. Also, if you want to send any information over to us, maybe you've got some feedback, you want to be a guest, maybe you got an idea for a show, you can always do that by sending an email to solve@rackspace.com. All right, we have got some, let me move that off the screen. We got some folks already saying hello. We got Mahmoud, that's awesome. And we got Tahaz here. Welcome, everyone. Be like these great folks. Introduce yourselves. This is a party. We're having great fun. Megan's here. Gert's here. Gert's actually right over there. So he's here in two places. That's kind of fun. All right, let's turn that button back on. Excellent. Well, we have a jam-packed show for you today. We'll see if we even get to the news because we've got some amazing people who are here with us today. Hey, wait, who's all saying hi? I'm so distracted. Lauren Martinez is here. Holy cow, they're coming in fast. David Linder's here. Oh, that's fantastic. David, we sure miss you around here. Hope you're having a great time. Julia, I can't even keep up. You guys are fantastic. Keep those comments coming in. And Rob Doria is here. Rob, thanks for taking me up on that invite I sent you yesterday to come be a part of the show. Guys, this is going to be great because, you know, every couple of months, maybe once a quarter, we do a show where we bring in some folks who maybe don't have as much gray hair as this guy does. And we've done just that today. Let me turn some buttons back on and show you a little something here. Of course, you can always go and download the podcast. We'll talk about that later. But I've got some folks who are going to be a part of this today. We call them the next generation of tech professionals here at Rackspace. But I've even got they're even a little more fresh than the regular new employees that we get here. In fact, how fresh are they? They are interns here at Rackspace. And with that, I think I really need to see who else said hi. So we got London here. We got Paul is here. Brad's here from Pune's here. This is fantastic. I love all these folks that are here. But wait a minute. You ready for this? Ready for the picture I'm about to show you? Whoo! Look at that fine group of individuals. This is Rackspace's summer crop of interns here in the U.S. And I couldn't be more excited to have them here. They've been tearing it up. We've got two different main groups that are represented here with us. And part of them are sales interns. Part of them are in the wicked cool graphics design team. But what I want to do is introduce them to you. And I got to tell you, I'm pushing a whole lot more buttons here than I normally push. So a little grace if I screw some of this up because I really think it could happen. So let's start with Blake. Blake, why don't you introduce yourself? Who are you? What school are you from? What are you doing here with us?
Hello, everyone. My name is Blake Dickerson. I'm from Orange County, California, and I'm a computer science major at University of California, Riverside. And I'm a sales intern here at Rackspace for the summer.
Awesome. Blake, I was just out there last Friday. Where was I? I was in, not Huntington Beach. I was in, I can't remember the name of it. South of Huntington. Anyway, out in your corner of the world. Fantastic. All right, let's move right next to you. And that would take us, come on, little buttons, let's work. Canon. Oh, there, I'm pushing the wrong button. Very cool. Canon, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Canon Secord. I'm from Harrisonburg, Virginia. I just graduated undergrad from Bridgewater College, going to graduate school at James Madison University, and I'm a sales intern this summer.
Fantastic. Sounds like we got a bit of a go-getter here. All right, let's move on. Kimberly, introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Kimberly Vazquez. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm a senior double majoring in management and marketing at the University of Houston.
I'm telling you, we get the smart ones who come hang out here at Rackspace. We're so glad that you're here. Thanks so much, Kimberly. All right, let's move over next to Bransen. I know I gave them the mic instructions, and they're all in the wrong places because I did a bad job.
My name is Bransen Eppes. I am from Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm a computer science major at Clemson University, and I'm also a sales intern.
That is awesome. Welcome. All right, let's continue moving around to my good friend Ozzy.
I am Ozzy Alvarado. I am a creative team intern. I'm a double major, double minor at St. Mary's University.
I tell you, we've got the go-getters. And then we got a little guy I like to call my son, Benjamin DeVerter.
Yeah, my name is Benjamin DeVerter, and I'm a graphic design major at Belmont University. Just finished my freshman year, and I'm also a creative team intern.
Yeah, you are. And see that really cool little Next Gen logo down there? I wonder who made that one. Could have been that guy right there. That's right. Well, folks, we have had a great time having you here. And I brought along a special guest today. And it's the guy who's sort of been looking after you. I'm going to put the camera back on me for a second. And so, Chris, introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Pierce. I'm a 15-year racker, and I have the wonderful honor and privilege of there we go. I have the wonderful honor and privilege of working with our sales interns this summer, and actually this whole group you mentioned, Go-Getter, around Canon, all Go-Getters. Really, it's been impressive working with them and seeing them all they've learned and what they've been doing. So.
Well, and they've done something I haven't necessarily seen a group of interns do before, and we're going to give them a chance to talk about it. And that's that big project they have this coming up this week.
Yes,
all right,
very exciting.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
You bet.
Appreciate
Thank
you looking after him. All right, camera, get that out of the shot. Well, with that, I've already alluded to the fact that there's some big project that you guys have been working on, and so why don't you tell us all about what that is? Let's see, who do we have there first? Cool. So, Blake, what is this project?
Yeah, so actually on Thursday, we actually partnered with Dell Technologies on an event regarding data freedom and cloud adjacency, as well as coupled with healthcare. These are some trending topics in the technology industry. And basically the idea behind data freedom is how we can kind of save money trying to transferring data in and out of the hyperscalers by being adjacent to those hyperscalers. So basically our data centers are going to be in the same building or right next to that building as these big 4 hyperscalers such as AWS, GCP, and Azure. And then this, like I said before, is going to reduce the cost of data transfers in and out of the cloud.
Yeah, I mean the exfiltration rates are really expensive, and a lot of folks don't necessarily understand that. And I'm super impressed that our sales interns do know what that's all about. So, folks, what they've done is they've scheduled this in-person event. We're just doing it. We're just back into the in-person world. Isn't that incredible? And so they've worked with sales leadership. They've worked with Rackspace leadership. They've got sponsors. They've done the whole thing. They've got Dell coming in. We've got customers coming in, and it's going to be a pretty incredible event. Well, Blake, while you've got the mic, you've been running around here all summer. Did you envision, as you're heading through your spring semester, that you'd spend the summer in a technology company?
Coming from a technology background, like I said, my major is computer science. So obviously something I wanted to do with my career is technology related.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't really know where I wanted to go with my career. And being at Rackspace has definitely kind of enveloped the idea of having multiple paths you could take, such as like a cloud architect, software engineer, data science. Right. So it's kind of opened my eyes to different paths I could take with my career.
Yeah, and you bring up the fact there are these these fancy things you can do: data architect, sales engineer, cloud architect, but everything. I mean, I think Megan talked about this when she was on a similar event earlier this spring, and that is that everything that we do in any of our careers these days really touches technology in some way. Well, why don't we spin over to Bransen for a second? Bransen, kind of a similar question for you then. As you think about, what was it like coming into Rackspace Technology to work as an intern? Was it intimidating a little, this big old company?
Before getting here, I'll admit I was probably a little bit intimidated. But once I got here, the real welcoming environment that we've had here and just the complete willingness of everyone to help us through our journey from any level in the company, especially with us being only interns, anybody in the company has been willing to help us. It's really made my life a lot easier here and made me really appreciate, what Rackspace is and the culture here.
Well, and I would kind of caution you to even say, and hopefully you've learned this when you say only an intern. I mean, a racker is a racker, from the lowest racker to the highest racker. It's one of the things that we really pride ourselves in the culture. And you guys have really taken the bull by the horns, to use a Texas phrase, to in not just, hey, we're going to make a new sales presentation. Hey, we're going to go talk to these fancy people. No, you're bringing sales folks in. You're doing the job. So when you say only a sales intern, well, that doesn't necessarily apply as much anymore. You guys have all kinds of people who are just applauding you. So with that, why don't we go over to Canon for just a second? Canon, what was it like coming into big old Rackspace?
Man, it's an incredible experience. Like no other. I've gotten the chance to come in, living with a family member down here in San Antonio. So I've been in here a couple of days a week while the others haven't. But I've met so many people in the sales department, but as well as other departments. my graduate degrees in cybersecurity, and so I've had the opportunity to reach out to them, and they've welcomed me, and I've been able to shadow and talk with some of the highest leaders here at Rackspace about what I can do in my journey and what success I can have throughout this company, and just guidance that they've been able to give me from experiences that they've had. So I've just been really grateful for everybody's welcoming and the culture that we've developed here at Rackspace.
Yeah, so I'm glad that that's what the experience was. It is what we strive to do. So what was something you learned this summer? What really kind of stood out?
I think I'm not from a technical background, and so coming into Rackspace, I've learned so much about what we provide, and that it's limitless, and our portfolio is just so great, and it's hard almost to keep up with what Rackspace is doing. We're evolving daily through AWS, through Google, Microsoft, VMware, and so trying to tap into all those things and keep up with what we're doing. And so, yeah, learning about all of those things, while else learning about myself and growing as a person throughout the sales, making calls, and just providing a great experience for myself and everything that Rackspace has to offer.
Oh, that's awesome. So as a racker who's over here all the time, spending, all my time, it's great when new folks come in and they really do get to personify who we are as an organization and get to experience it, which is fantastic. Well, let's move over to Ozzy. Ozzy is a bit of a go-getter, a double major, double minor, quadruple threat. All right. So what are all of the degrees, Ozzy? Let's start with that.
So my heavy hitter, we got communication studies, and then we also have exercise and sports science as my 2 majors, and then my 2 minors being Spanish and visual communication design.
Okay, what does the perfect career look like for you, Ozzy, with all of that in the mix?
I'm glad you
something
asked.
like Rockstar would be fantastic.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot going on, so you're probably wondering, like, oh my goodness, like, what are you going to do with all that? I plan to go into the sports broadcasting field, whether that be as a on-air personality, color commentary, or even just writing, so journalism. I'd love to do all 3, any 3, really. So yeah.
Awesome. Maybe I should go sit over there, and you could sit here, and you could provide color commentary on what's going on.
That sounds like a great time.
If you could come over and stand on the Chris Pierce microphone and say, hey, Blake is doing really good right now. I think he's going to be good next season. I don't watch a lot of sports. That's all I got. Look, Kimberly, let's pan over to you for a second. That's not Kimberly. That's Kimberly. Sorry, I got new toys to play with, and it has all sorts of buttons. Kimberly, how's the summer been?
The summer's been great. I've had such a great time, not only, being here at Rackspace, but also connecting with these wonderful interns. I came in solo dolo, and I leave with 5 amazing friends. So highlight of my summer for sure.
I love it. And love that I gave you the complete open mic right there. You could have said, I learned so much about technology. Hey, I sold some stuff. Hey, I got to work in this great place. But you leaned in on people. And I find that really interesting. Why is that? Let me ask that question. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, not only, like you mentioned, have I had the opportunity to sell and collaborate with this great project that we're putting together, but to me, I've developed myself so much day one because of these individuals. Like Canon, I don't come from a very technical background as to where Blake does. And so just getting the opportunity to learn from them, I feel like I take so much within myself. So it's just been great. People is what I love, and I love these guys.
Well, I'm going to pan out for just a second and again show the whole group, because you have learned something, Kimberly, and the rest of the group, that it takes a lot of people a long time, especially folks who are just working your way through and maybe at the end of or close to the end of your educational career, is the fact that you are the sum of your parts, and those parts are the people who are around you. Rackspace is successful because of the rackers who are here, and it has been awesome that we have gotten to call each of you rackers this summer. All right, so I would be extraordinarily remiss, if I forgot how to use this thing, but if I didn't bring up this young man right here, Benjamin. So you got to join us this summer as a graphics design intern. First of all, tell us a little bit about Belmont. You're coming out of Belmont.
I am. So that's the shirt I'm wearing. It's a Belmont shirt. That's why I'm not as sharply dressed as these folks.
You're got to represent.
Exactly, trying to represent. But yeah, I just finished my first year at Belmont, and it's mostly a music school, but I'm going there for graphic design. And I have some musical interest too, which is one of the reasons I really wanted to go there. And what I like about Belmont is how it can, or I guess how I found outlets for both.
Yeah.
Because I found musicians to play with and also musicians to make album art for, and then other design opportunities, I suppose.
Very cool. How did that first year help prepare you for your time here at Rockspace?
Well, I can think of two things, and one of them is that I learned. Well, I guess I suppose that I got a lot better at Illustrator, which is the main program I'm going to use in graphic design.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty comfortable using Illustrator now, but also learning to work with clients. Because I did some stuff for people in Nashville and also learned that like in the schooling part. And then I came here and I'm working for a client every day, Larry Meyer.
And me and everybody else, the sales interns. Well, and what's super interesting is that, Benjamin talks about, let me go full screen again. Benjamin talks about the fact that, he has these various interests, and I wanted to call it out because each of these folks here have different skills, different interests. And what's great about a place like Rackspace, and ideally everywhere, is you get to bring your whole self to work and contribute your whole self. I have this crazy interest in all the technology stuff, which is why I stand at this desk getting to, produce this fun little program. But, Benjamin is an interest in graphic design and in music. And so when he was doing video work for us, he's putting his own music into that stuff, which is fantastic. Well, let's get back onto the topic for a second about DataFest, because that is a big deal. And so let's maybe go to Canon for that. And Canon, first of all, can anybody come to this? Is there still room at the table for people to come to the show?
Oh, there is plenty of room for people to come to the show. We would love to have anybody that's on this podcast, anybody that just come and join us, because we've got a lot of leaders that are coming to speak, including our CEO, Kevin Jones, just to talk about what the future of Rackspace holds and where we're going, but also like Blake had mentioned earlier, how big data freedom, cloud adjacency, and then the healthcare part are. And we're partnering with Dell, and that's just a very big part of where we want to go as the company with them, and our values line. And so as technology keeps developing, this is where we want to be as a company.
That's fantastic. So folks, I want to, just step back for a second. Us as professionals know how to, go and run these big programs and contribute to a larger thing. But if you think about your experience in schooling, and you're working through these different projects, and the projects, you sometimes it's a group thing, sometimes it's individual. You turn in the assignment, you move on. Well, here these guys have so many moving parts that they're working on right now. And when you think about doing something like this, there's tracking getting all the graphic design stuff work. There's a whole logo that was developed. We know the team that did that. There was that had to get out through the marketing team. It had to get sent out. People had to sign up. We had to have, working with sponsors, working with vendors, because they've got food here. They've got drink coming to the thing. It's pretty incredible. So Kimberly, let me pan it over to you for just a second. And let's compare contrast. What has it been like working on a project like this as opposed to maybe something in school?
Right. Well, like you said, Jeff, this entire project is pieced together by all of us. I know the creative interns, we worked very closely in developing our logo and also even the name DataFest. So it was a collective effort on all of our ends. Personally, for me, I was very close with the marketing department to go ahead and create that email, get it sent out, and reach our audience. So a lot of components that came into creating DataFest, and it was a little bit different from what I would typically do at school, just because I had to wear a bunch of different hats, which I loved doing. Not only were we supported by the entire Rackspace family, we had the opportunity to also utilize all available resources. So we were able to collaborate via SharePoint, Rackspace SharePoint. It was just a very, very fun time. So very different, but I loved every single part of it. And we're excited to make it come to life. Thursday, August 4th, from 1 to 3. Be there, be
there
square.
you go. There you go. Hey, and if somebody wants to sign up, where do we send them? What is our website? Is there an email? What do we need to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have our website, which hopefully we can put on there, but it is www. Is it on there? Hopefully we can put it on there.
Yeah, we'll put it in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Because I'm trying to think of it from the top of my head, and I'm
I'm
struggling a little
throwing
bit.
curveballs at you.
Yeah, but also you guys can register via phone, and I can provide that phone number.
We'll put it in the
if
chat,
allowed.
folks. If you want to
Okay.
come to the show, and it's a
Yeah.
virtual and a live event. So
It is.
Not only did they say we're taking on a project, we're taking on a hybrid project.
We are.
Hey, Bransen, let's over to you. So let's compare this event similar to what's it like doing something like this as opposed to a project in school.
No, yeah, it's very different. I think the main thing that I've seen between this and school is that the people here are actually very invested in this project because they want to make a meaningful outcome, whereas in school people are more interested in just getting their grade. And so if someone's willing to step up in school, someone will just rely on them and let them do it, whereas all of us have been able to kind of take our own part in this and really make it something that we're all proud of.
That is a fantastic answer. And you're spot on when you say, we're just trying to get a grade when we're in school and move on. And if somebody's the go-getter, we're going to let them do all the work and we'll all, get the good grade because of it. Well, in work, it's very much different. I mean, you ultimately have to, we're not just talking about a grade, we're talking about the success of your career. And each of these events that you get to work on is like a brick that goes into this, this wall or road or something that you're building that is yours. It's your reputation. And what you find in work, and not so much in school, is that when someone's not pulling their weight, you go find somebody who's going to go pull their weight. And what happens on the next project? That other person does not get invited back to the program. All right. So with that, why don't we go back over to Blake for just a second? Blake, as you think about what's next for you, I'm curious what's your next step? I mean, we're coming to the end of the road here for the summer. What's up for you next?
Yeah, so obviously finishing my undergrad degree is going to be a huge part and possibly pursuing grad school as well. But for me, I recently just passed my AWS Cloud Practitioner exam. So continuing with that stuff as well. Thank you. But yeah, getting my associates and professional certifications and that as well is going to be a huge step for me.
That's right. So whether you are, now guys, he's a sales intern. Now he's taking a bunch of technology classes, but he's a sales intern. Everybody can pass, especially choose your flavor of cloud. He chose AWS, but those beginning ones, everyone should be able to speak cloud. Well, Canon, over to you for just a second. A similar question. What's up for you next?
Yeah, so going back to grad school at JMU, I'm a tennis player, so I'm going to finish my career out there and then stay in contact with some people here at Rackspace, like especially Chris Pierce, and check in monthly just to see how he's doing on a personal level, but as well as a professional level, and just talk about what opportunities Rackspace has to offer, and hopefully coming back to Rackspace and being a full-time racker.
Oh, I love it when that's the answer. How do we get more folks coming back over here to Rackspace? Well, let's bounce over to Ozzy for a second. Ozzy, you I don't know which of your careers are happening, are the focus, but where are you in your education and what's up for you this fall?
Yeah, so I'm going to be a junior, so I still have one more good solid year. I guess 2 years. So in the fall. Did you say fall?
Yeah, next. What's after summer? I think, that's next.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a job over at KSAT, which is our local news station, working specifically with the sports department in basically high school sports or high school football coverage. So I'm hoping to do that. Also keep in contact with some people from Rackspace, my good friend over here, Benjamin, of course, check in, see how he's doing. But I've been able to learn so much here, so I'm hoping I still can keep in contact with him, learn from him. So yeah.
Fantastic. Now let's go over to Benjamin next. So Benjamin, anybody who is in graphic design, and I've told you this for just a few years, has a career forever in any industry, because the way that people communicate now is completely through media and so forth. As such, it can become a challenge to, you've just finished your first year. You've got 3 more years of school. How do you plan on balancing making sure that you get your college experience, that you get to all that knowledge, but you still keep your foot in the working world maybe a little bit? Or how do you plan on balancing that?
Yeah, well, what I think is kind of interesting about Belmont, and I was just talking to a friend of mine about this last week, is that it's basically a school of people who have some sort of hobby or passion. They're trying to figure out how to make it a career. So for the most part, we're all doing our jobs already. You know, we've grown up playing instruments or drawing or something, and why we're at Belmont is to meet people who can help us get better and then make a living out of it.
Well,
So-
I love what you said in that everybody's already doing their job, and you're right. You're
Yeah.
actually, that's a great way to approach whether you're still in school or not, is the fact that that school is your job for now, but what you're also talking about is your networking. Now I sort of cut you off. What were you about to say there?
Sure, no. I'm just saying, like, I think it's a great place because, well, I think about, like, if you're a scientist or something, you're gonna start that in some sort of education. You're not necessarily going to be doing like peer-reviewed research for fun, you know, in your recreation time when you're growing up. And so that's what we're kind of doing at Belmont, is starting early, I guess.
That's exactly right. Well, we're so excited that you have been here this summer, and all of them. I want to pan back out here a little bit and just again show the group, folks. We will in here post. I think we already had in the link. Yeah, everybody is linked in. I'm going to challenge you, all you fun listeners, go friend these folks. Keep up with them. These are the future of our industry. These are the folks who are going to be running this place when we retire and head on out of here. So I want to thank you guys each for your contributions to Rackspace this summer. It has been fantastic. You have done incredible work, and we sincerely appreciate it, and do hope that you'll remember us and come back again next summer, or when you're done, maybe come back for that full-time job. That would be fantastic as well. All right, everyone. You know, we blazed right through all of the time that we had to do all of the other things, but I would be remiss if I did not push that button right. Nope. Push that button right there. Push that button right there. And thank our good friends over, speaking of partners, App Dynamics. If you are a software developer and you or a business owner, you've got your application and you want to try to connect all of the technical stuff that's going on to your key performance indicators, your KPIs for how your business is running, full stack observability is the way to do that. And I encourage you to go check out App Dynamics. You just go over to appdynamics.com and learn everything that you can. And if there's a little chat there, just tell them Jeff sent you. They're not going to know who I am, but I like to tell people that when they go places. And so fantastic. So thank you so much, folks. We do have a killer episode coming up next week, and that's with the general manager for Rackspace's Middle East, Egypt, and MEA and Africa. Yeah, the whole MEA area. So that's going to be a really interesting conversation. I hope you'll be back for that one. And with that is going to do it for yet another episode of Cloud Talk Live. It has been 100% about the interns. We're back here on Tuesday, and I hope to see you then.